Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing a video where I'm going to be talking about why I actually really enjoy working at a FAANG company, specifically this company right here. I'm going to take you through my life because I currently work at FAANG full-time in DevRel. So I'm going to take you through my life and then show you reasons why I actually do like working at a larger tech company. A larger tech company is not for everyone. So that's why you should definitely watch the first part of this video about reasons why it might not be for you. But honestly, it's been a great experience. I've been at Google for close to almost 2 years now. Can you believe it? It's been such a long time. So I've been here for almost 2 years and I've really enjoyed it a lot. Like there are things that I really like about it. In this video, we're going to talk about reasons why I like working at FAANG and why it's good for me right now in this moment of my life. But before we get started, y'all, I'm starving. So I'm going to make some breakfast and then we're going to get into it. I want to thank the sponsor of this video, Athletic Greens. One of my goals this year is to eat healthier and improve my gut health. That's one of the reasons I've been taking Athletic Greens every day. Athletic Greens contains over 75 essential vitamins like vitamin B, C, and A, as well as minerals and whole food sourced ingredients. It also has probiotics, prebiotics to help you with your gut health and immunity. If you're interested in checking out Athletic Greens, please visit athleticgreens.com/Picola. Tap the link in the description box to get 1 year supply of immune support, vitamin D3K2, and 5 travel packs free with your first purchase. Okay, breakfast is done and we're about to start the workday. Let me start with the first reason why I really like working at a FAANG company, which is surprisingly that I have really good work-life balance. This was something I was really worried about moving to a FAANG company because I was afraid that work would consume my entire life. And you guys know I do a lot of things outside of work. I do this YouTube channel, I do TikTok, I do Instagram. I basically do content creation on multiple platforms. And not only do I want to have time to do content creation, but I also want to have time to see my friends, my family, to sleep, because you know there's one thing I'm not going to miss out on, and that is my 8 hours of sleep and my 30-minute nap every single day. Believe it or not, I actually have really great work-life balance working at a big tech company. This could be because of the specific team that I'm on. This could be because of the role I'm in, but there are 3 reasons why I have really good work-life balance at this company in this role specifically. The first thing is that there's a clear definition of the amount of work I have to do to get a specific performance review rating. Because this role is pretty well defined and like my skip level managers have set like actual goals that need to be met to get a certain rating. Every like perf review cycle, I meet with my manager, we sit down and she tells me, okay, you need to do these amount of projects, you need to lead these amount of projects, you have to do like this level of difficulty of projects. And if you can get all these things done, you'll get this specific rating. And knowing exactly what I need to do ahead of time really helps me out because then I can be like, okay, I'm doing this amount of projects. I can really plan for the entire cycle and know like what to prioritize, when to do a lot of work, when to do less work, you know, it just helps me with my time. So having just a clear definition of what I'm supposed to be doing, like how much work I need to do is really helpful for me. I will not do more than that, and I will also not do less. I won't do less. I'll do enough to get the rating which I usually target, which is like exceeds expectations. The next reason why I have really good work-life balance is because, believe it or not, I actually have a lot of flexibility in my role. Like my manager really empowers us. And as long as your work is done, you can do whatever you want to do. You can be wherever you need to be. And that's really helpful for me because having that flexibility means that I can kind of like plan my days on how I'm feeling. So for example, when I was in Barcelona 2 weeks ago, I was able to shift my schedule to work with working abroad. And also like, for example, tomorrow I have a meeting at 6:30 a.m. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do all of my work really early in the morning. So basically just having that flexibility where they trust that you're going to get your work done. No one's watching you. You don't have to pretend to work. The final reason why I feel like I have really good work-life balance in this role too is because my team and my manager really prioritize having good mental health. The company as a whole will give you days off. So we have like I think 5 well-being days every year. You can always take a sick day off if you need a mental health day. Like I just feel like having managers and having like higher level people on your team who care about mental health and want you to be a healthy human also helps you have good work-life balance. So let's talk about the second reason why I really like working at a big company, which is the amount of resources that are available. If you remember in my video, how I got my job at Google, I talked about why I wanted to leave the startup I was working at, which was because I felt like they just didn't have the resources to support me in my career. At a larger tech company, it's so crazy the amount of resources, the internal programs, just like programs created to help workers succeed in the workplace. For example, let's say there's a specific technology that you're not familiar with a job that you're doing, you need to know this technology. Like there are internal classes on any technology you're interested in. And if they don't have a class on that specific technology, you also have money that you get every single year. I think it's about $12,000. Like it's a very large amount that you can use to take online courses to learn more about these technologies. And even like random resources that you wouldn't even like think that the company would provide. Like for example, I've seen resources on how to buy a house, resources on how to get your personal finance ready. There are internal programs even at Google and other of these large tech companies to move people who are in non-technical roles into technical roles, into like SWE roles. There are entire boot camps dedicated to that internally. So that just shows you like the amount of resources that are available at these larger tech companies. So if you're someone who's more junior and you want to get more support, you want to have access to mentorship, more hand-holding, more resources, you just want to be in a place where you're more supported, I think a larger tech company might be a good fit for you in that case. Okay, so that's it. Let me finish up the day and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey everyone, so it's the next day and I'm gonna go head into the office. I usually don't go into the office often because I prefer working from home, but I have lunch with my manager and I also think it's gonna be a good way to show you the next reason why I like working at a larger tech company, which is the pay and the perks. And let's head into the office. The pay, the perk, and prestige have been the biggest and most well-known benefits of working at a FAANG company. Let's start with pay. Even though there are a few companies that pay more than FAANG in the New York City area, FAANG companies still pay the top 10% in the industry. The median salary at Google is $273,000, and in most markets, FAANG will usually pay top of the market. And as someone who has aggressive saving goals and also supports family members, being at a well-paying company with a stable stock price is really important to me. So if you're someone who has student debt and is prioritizing your financial health right now, FAANG is definitely the way to go. One of the most common benefits working at a FAANG is the perks. From the nice office, free lunch, 401k matches, good maternity leave policies, there are so many good perks working at FAANG. And I know that there are discussions about how perks are used as a way to get workers to stay longer in the office, but honestly, I've been able to maintain reasonable working hours while also enjoying the perks of working at a larger tech company. Now, the final reason in this section of why I like working at a FAANG is the prestige. With Google on my resume, the quality of recruiter messages has improved. Prestige isn't just for flexing and making your parents proud of what you're doing. As a Black woman with an untraditional background, having Google on my resume is a big deal. For Black people, women, and other underrepresented minorities who are consistently underestimated and have to constantly prove themselves to people, working at a name brand organization can give you general recognition that you are a good developer and a good tech worker, which is unfortunately the price you have to pay being in this more underrepresented group. Okay, y'all, it's the end of the day. It's 6 p.m. and I finally made it back home. Unfortunately, I still have more work to do today. I think I have like about 2 hours of work left. You know, some days are easier, some days are a little bit harder, and some days I just have more work. And that's one of those days today. So I just want to talk about another reason why I've enjoyed working at a larger tech company, which is the flexibility you have with your team. So I feel like when you're starting out in your career in tech or like as a developer, sometimes you kind of want to experiment with different roles. You want to find out where you best fit. And I feel like a larger tech company can be a good place to experiment with different roles. Like one of the things I like about the company I work for is that you can make a transition to a totally different team if you want to. Like I've met people who've gone from non-technical roles and been able to transition into technical roles, like software engineering roles, and people who've been software engineers and been able to transfer to other roles in the company. So I think the ability to like switch teams, to try new things, like if you're a front-end engineer, you want to do like back-end engineering, you have that opportunity to try something new is like another big perk of working at a larger tech company. There are so many teams, so many different roles. If you have the requirements that can qualify you to try that, you can hop on those teams without having to do an entirely long interview process. That is, unless you're going from like non-technical to technical, you still have to interview, but it's way easier from what I've heard than if you were coming from outside of the company and trying to break in to the company into a technical role. So yeah, that's another benefit of working at a larger tech company. If you want to switch teams, you can switch teams. You have the option to try new things and work on different teams, and that's another benefit. As you guys can tell, I'm so tired, but we gotta still do some work. So I'm gonna wrap up my work for the day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Happy Saturday, everyone, and today's going to be the last day of the vlog. I'm just going to share a couple more reasons why I really enjoyed working at a larger tech company. And the first reason is because there's a really clear path to promotion. When I was at a startup, because like the performance review cycle is a very lightweight process and they were more concerned about the product, they weren't really thinking about like, oh, how can engineers and developers increase in seniority and like rise up the ranks? There wasn't really a clear path to understanding like, what do I need to do to get to the next level? But at these larger organizations, if this is your goal, they do a really good job of telling you the assignments you need to complete to get to the next level. So if you're L3, L4, you know like, okay, I'll need to do these types of projects to get to the next level. When you're at a junior level, or if you're at a point in your life where you're like, I want to be rising up the ranks, I want to know the requirements I need to make to get to the next level, then I think a big tech company can be really good for you. And I just want to end this vlog by sharing my experience as a Black woman working at these large organizations. We're gonna need a little bit of coffee for this one. Honestly, like, I'm not gonna lie, I've had a really good experience, but all because I've had a good experience, I'm not trying to use this to negate negative experiences of other Black people, women in these organizations, because I really believe that your experience at these large organizations is gonna be based a lot on the immediate team that you're working in, because I think Google has like 50,000 employees. Everyone's gonna have a different experience based on who they're working with. I've been really lucky and I work for a really good team. I like everyone on my team. They've made me feel pretty comfortable. My manager is really good. My skip level manager is really good. I've honestly had a great experience as a Black woman. I'm gonna just say a controversial statement. I think large organizations are better for Black employees than women. When I was at my old startup, and this is common with a lot of startups, it's just a smaller group of people. So when you're like 1% of the organization, it's not uncommon for you to be the only woman or the only Black person. And that can be a really lonely experience at the company. Like, it's really nice, even though there are only 2 Black people in my team, knowing that I have like these Black ERG groups and these women ERG groups that I can go to if I ever need help or if I ever want to get supported, really makes me feel good. So I don't know, I think larger companies can be a better space to be in for Black people, Black women, women, and other underrepresented groups. Let me know what you think about that. That could be controversial, but honestly, I've had a good experience as a Black woman working at Google. Obviously, it's not like everything is perfect, right? But it's been a pretty good experience so far. So there you have it, guys. A couple reasons why I have really enjoyed working at a larger tech company. If you like this video, make sure to tap that like button and smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.